I am not gonna waste any time. Alicia is one of the best survival horror games I ever played, and one of the reasons is because it game looks and feels played like a long PlayStation 1 game from the mid to the late 90s that has been found and released on modern consoles. There is so much passion, love, care put into this game by someone who truly knows classic survival horror games, making this the best modern classical survival horror game imaginable. Signalis was one of my first personal favorite game of the 2022 year. For the same reason, and even though 2024 just begun, I can tell Alisa, probably, not sure, I'm going to sit on the top of my list for the best year game for a long time. Right from the opening sequences featuring those cheesy PlayStation 1 style CGs and terrible voice acting, I know it's going to be something special. The story starts off with Alicia, an officer working for the royal guard of the country. Not sure, but the assets from the French or Belgium. Anyways, Alicia is sent on a mission to track down a spy who has stolen incredibly sensitive documents from the Emperor. The search leads her to her partner to a quiet countryside. Upon finding the spy, Alicia is dragged underground by the creatures. Alicia then wakes up holding Alice, like from Alice in Wonderland, and finds herself in what looks like a strange life-size doll house, complete with enemies such as the killer dolls with up toys, killer clowns, and even a stalker-type enemy like Nemesis or Mr. X from the Resident Evil series that hunts you down and can show up when you enter most rooms in a game. If they catch you, you're pretty much dead. The first area you will discover is the central stairway of the mansion, and this will basically be your central hub. The hallways are filled with doors. Most of them at the start will be locked, requiring keys you will acquire slowly throughout the game. As the progress, there are doors will lead you to the new locations, and there is a story of, reviving anything. Most of them will be cut to them. There is a circus area, an underground water area, and a hedge maze made of metal. There is a story here revolving around the mystery on what weird dollhouse actually is, and the identity of the spy are you chasing after. You'll get some cutscenes in the game, and there are notes around the area which will give you clues as to what's happening. By the end of the game, throughout we were a lot of questions left unanswered, leaving the story wide open for a sequel. Like classic survival horror games, this game uses pre-arranged backgrounds with a fixed camera along with the tank controls. Moving to screen will change the background and camera angle, and the reason why this works so well is because with these camera angles, there are a lot of clever ways to scare you. Waking up a flight of stairs and seeing something walking on the floor below you is horrifying. With enemies hiding around the corners or behind walls you can't see right away. As you would expect with a survival horror game like this, there are also puzzles in the game, and most of them I was able to figure out on my own. Usually on the first try with some trial and error. I don't recall any except for one of them that requires regarding a note found in the area in order to figure out the solution. However, there is one puzzle that took me a bunch of tries to get, but that was mainly because it's on a timer, and if you don't finish quickly enough, you will die. I do have a slight issue with the tank controls. Calm down, it's not the tank controls themselves, I grew up on these. Now the issue is that no matter how much I look throughout the menus, it seems like there is always ways to change the control scheme so that the D-pad moves to the character. You need to use the left joystick to move. Tank controls were specifically designed for the D-pads to give you that precise moment, then turning left or right. It still works on the joystick, but sometimes movements gets a little wonky because of it. Alicia does include a modern control scheme which works well and lets you move Alicia in any direction without having to stop to turn. This scheme works well, but when the transitioning screens, you can turn around sometimes. That said, I appreciate that they added a rattle icon on the bottom right of the screen that will light up when you're aiming at the enemy. With these kinds of games, it it can be kind of a pain thinking you are actually aiming at the enemy, but then just start shooter at the air. QOL updates like these are great because they don't take anything away from the classic survival horror experience and update it to it less kind of painful. Another great addition is the merchants you can find in the save rooms where you can buy ammo, guns and outfits. The different outfits actually have stats to them, which can be your additional healing boosts. Faster reloads or increased defense. To buy these items you need Toothless, or which is currency drop when you kill the enemies. This is a kind of a meta game you need to play with yourself as you progress throughout the game. You do avoid enemies and save the ammo. This kind of meta will play with yourself as progress throughout the game, so you can buy whatever weapons and outfits you want. There are also special items and weapons you can buy after defeating bosses. You can also buy modification for Alicia, like giving her the ability to auto-aim or puppet strings that will pull her away from danger. Now, those modifications are a cool addition, but I can't really talk about them in depth. Let's just say it plays into the story and the endings you can, depending on if you have mods or not. Alicia also has a ton of replay value. There are certain areas of the map and some doors that one probably won't open on the first playthrough, as they require buying items from the store to open them. There are also areas that can only be accessed after playing throughout the game and the single game. This is the key item to gain access to those areas in the store that you can buy until you beat the final boss and start the new game plus run. Alicia isn't that long. My first playload clocked in the around 8 hours, and that was the full exploration and taking my time. My second playload took 5, and I'm expecting my third to come at around 3 or 4 hours. The game lasts enough not to where it's out welcome, but it's short enough that it makes speedrunning an additional playthroughs fun, since you can blow through it quickly and can carry over all your guns, ammo, all outfits and additional runs. I also want to keep playing to find the additional locations I didn't have access for the first time, so I can buy all the guns, outfits in the game. There are even some outfits like a straitjacket that make it so you can't use any guns and can use only a charge tag to damage enemies, so this would be a fun challenge to try and finish the game with. There are also multiple endings in the game, so there is more enough reason here to go back and play throughout the game multiple times. What's really impressive is that the fact that it's still like the most of this game was made by a single developer. When the credits started rolling, I was expecting to see an entire team of the people working on this, but it seems the most of this game was made by a single person, Casper Kroes, and a couple of others who did the voices and the work on the console port. I didn't realize it was originally a kickstarted back game as well, which was evident by a long list of brackets at the end of the credits. This is just so much love and the care and passion and understanding of what made these games so great, that extend the game running in 4080p and 4:3 ratio with the black bars on the left and the right screen of them. The voice acting game is bad, but it's bad only for purpose and sounding like just like some cheesy voice acting you would like hear back when playing the original Resident Evil. It really has a certain charm to it and doesn't feel forced at all. This is a ton of voice acting in a game, but you can tell that the cast has a blast making this game. So, Casper Kroes, thank you. And Alicia is the pure PlayStation 1 style 90s survival horror in the best way ever possible. So if you are a Sony boy like me and you like that, just go ahead and try. Peace.